Hey guys, Gemma from ASD Rocks. Oh, I look so shiny. I've put my moisturizer on. Sorry. I probably shouldn't have done that, but it's first thing in the morning. I got a message from someone during the week and I've been waiting for my voice to get better, but it doesn't look like it's going to. So I really need to make this message because it actually affects a lot of us. And I forget often to talk about the other side of things. So I always talk about Beau being over emotional and how he won't go to watch a movie, or he won't, he can't bear children because he doesn't know why they're crying. He can't bear to see someone who is upset. He's just so empathetic and emotional. And I got a message during the week which said, what happens, how do I deal with it when it's the complete opposite? What do I do when my child simply has no empathy? And I think that's, firstly, a brilliant question, because yes, that is what we deal with in a lot of situations. It's not just about empathy. It's about understanding the context of a conversation and knowing what is expected of them. So my advice for people who, and this particular person was, feeling obviously very emotional person, they're the ones that it affects the most. As a mother, we want our children to be empathetic to other people, especially to us, to their family. But when your child is on the spectrum and they simply don't understand that empathy, the ability to understand someone else's feelings, you need to tackle it from a very different way. So the way that I suggest, and the way that I have done it with Beau, in areas that he can't, it's not about empathy, in areas that he can't understand social conformity, okay? So that's the word that we want to use. We want to create a mathematical equation for the child so that they know what the correct response is to the situation that's happened. So, for example, you say, Adam, I don't know what the name of the child is, Adam, that really hurt me. Now, if a child lacks empathy, they're going to be like, perfect example, Beau read the book once, which he had to read for school, and it was about the Holocaust. And I thought, oh my God, there's absolutely no way he's going to manage this. And halfway through the book, I said to him, how are you going with it? And he was like, it's not happening to me. I was like, Jesus, man, it's like, talk about a lack of empathy. It really surprised me. Maybe he was able to change because it was characters, or cut off and not feel, connected to it. But when he does associate with the characters, obviously it's a completely different thing. Now, my suggestion with all children, because I believe there's a point in time, I'm just going to close that door. I believe there's a point in time where all of our ASD kids go through a thing where they simply don't understand what the social convention requires of them to respond. So, for example, with Beau, when someone comes in and says, hi, how are you? He would always just answer good. And I said, for a number of years, I said, Beau, listen, the situation is, don't ask me why. It's just polite. The social convention, or the mathematical equation, is that when someone asks you, how are you, you say, you answer, and then you reply, how are you? Whether you're interested or knowing, it's irrelevant, right? That is the social convention. It's what's expected. So we can use these, and now he always does it. Hi, how are you? Good, how are you? He doesn't care, genuinely. He does not care how those people are, but it's social. It's about growing up in a world where we do have these mathematical equations. We expect a response within what our society does. So if you have a child that isn't empathizing, you need to create sentences and then answers. And you need to say, okay, this situation, so you have hurt or upset your sister or whoever it happens to be, or I am upset equals answer, I'm sorry, right? That's just just give him the words. He doesn't even have to mean it, but eventually after getting used to saying it, at least number one, he will know exactly how to fit into society and what is expected of him, especially at school, or her, my apologies, or them. Especially at school, in these situations where he has no empathy for anybody else, where a kid is sitting there and he can't read the body language. Well, why would he? Why does he care? It's very difficult. Why bother reading body language when you actually don't care and you're not interested in finding out how that person feels? So give mathematical equations. Sit down with the family and with the child and talk it out amongst yourselves and say, this is for everybody. It is not just about little Johnny or little Jessie. This is about the polite and correct way to respond to when you're given this sentence. You did something bad. It's not just about hurting. You did something bad. You want someone to be apologetic. There are social conventions we need to stand up to if we're going to survive in society. So if you feed these mathematical equations, for those of you that are into computers, it's very much simply a standard of an if, that, then. So I don't know how many of you know about the if, that, then, but if this circumstances comes up with this, so if Johnny does that, then the answer is this. So we're programming our kids in the same way that we would look at programming our computers, okay? We're giving them the responses that we're quietly expecting them to just know, and they won't, guys. You can't, I don't know how to sew. I was never taught how to sew. So if someone came into my house and said, here, I need you to put this hem up, I haven't been taught. No one taught me that. Now, yes, I was taught to apologize if I did something wrong, or if I was, but I did feel sorry. I was genuinely sorry. I was one of those kids that just couldn't bear the thought of my parents disapproving, or my grandparent disapproving of what I'd done. So it was a genuine one. However, if you start early enough, it will become genuine, because the child will get so used to responding with the correct text that you will feel better initially, because you'll get the right response. The more it happens, the more that child will be used to moving those texts into other situations with other people. And that is going to set your child up for the rest of its life in regards to working socially within a company, working socially, if there's customers, you want to give them a formula. When I was doing work in customer complaints, we were given a formula. There's a very, very good formula which allows for 95% positive outcome for both the company and the customer, okay? These formulas, now, yes, I have to empathize in some way. I have to see it from the other person's point of view, but that doesn't mean the formula doesn't work, right? If I read the same words out, it would still come out with the right response, because it's a formula. If you're interested in that formula, let me know, and I'll either send it to you or I'll do another post for you. But I really hope this one helps because it is a big thing, not having empathy. And I do forget to talk. I talk a lot about, say, the white and not enough about the black because there's just no middle ground there. So hopefully this one helps, guys. ASD rocks.